Okay, so I see that the last video was recorded quite well. So in a continuation, the manifestations that are gratified in an acceptable behavior kind of way. Alright, so what it means is that it's considered important for happiness, peace of mind, and personal adjustments and success in living. So basically, in general, what we're aiming for is joy and happiness and contentment. And it's not consistent always. It is a choice where some people struggle to choose that because they just generally are depressed personality type or a cynic and things like that. It depends on your spectrum of where you lie with anxiety and pessimism and the glass is half empty kind of perspective. Okay, but what it's saying is that a healthy personality is a personality that functions well, and this part here is important, in consistently different situations. So what do you like at work? What do you like at home? I read something on Facebook the other day that said who you are at home is who you naturally are, like your natural state of who you are. And partly I disagree with that, because at first I thought about that and I thought, yes, because it's a place of rest usually. Like if you go to work and hanging out with your friends and things like this, it's a place where you would have maybe your last meal of the day. You throw yourself in the shower, but actually, and then you go to sleep. But actually, it's not necessarily the blueprint of who you are. Because the thing is that if hanging out with your friends is part of what you love, and being in the mountains is part of what you love, and a lot of your activities is outside of the house, it could also, part of who you are and your temperament could be reading books and being alone and needing that. But also, certain people and certain circumstances can trigger your negativity or your temper or your how do I say, bring out qualities in your personality that you might not necessarily like. And if that circumstance is in your home, for example, you're wanting a divorce, so who you are then naturally in your home isn't naturally going to be like who you are. So, or you've been married for a long time and you've got children, but one of your children, say your third child or your fourth child, is a teenager, but you're also starting to notice that there might be a mental illness development. And if you've been reading about it, then, and the more you see it, the more you realize. So when you're at home with this person, or when you're dealing with specific school issues with a person, or trying to you're concerned about their future, so it's making you a little bit obsessive and neurotic, which that's not necessarily always part of your nature. Then it's going to change your calm and your patient demeanor, but it doesn't mean that that's who you are. What it means is that person in that circumstance in this season is bringing this out in your character, because sometimes it is about if you're the parent or if you're the partner that's unhappy and wanting to get out, you need to have a certain survival skill, guarding yourself, protecting yourself, right? And so I don't necessarily see it as the person that who you are at home is who you are. I see it as the person who you are in different environments. So if somebody who I'm working with talks to somebody who I'm going to the mountains with, and this group of people see me regularly, and then we go out for dinner, and these people from these different groups, if they would be able to say Donna is like this, this, and this, and this, and they can agree on it, that's who you are. Because who you are in different situations, your consistency, okay? So you will get some situations like I am generally a calm and a patient person, but I can also be dramatic. And partly I enjoy being dramatic, but it's not, it's more like the extrovert kind of coming out and entertaining people, and then I run out of energy. But it doesn't mean that when I run out of energy I don't love people. What it means is that I need to be in the mountains, I need to be alone to regroup, right? And so generally what I would want somebody to see as consistent for me is that I'm Christian, so that the way that I talk and the way that I behave and the choices I make, whether I'm out for dinner with friends, whether I'm at the cinema, whether I'm at church, or whether I'm at a nightclub, or when I'm at home, that the character and my nature would show consistently. My energy of where I get my introversion and extroversion will shift depending on the day and how much energy I have after work for the group, or how much energy I have at home to do household stuff after work. And those things will shift depending on how much energy I have left. It's not about character and nature. But if you were to talk to people who I know in South Africa and the people who know me here, there should be a consistent discrepancy. There should be, on the continuum, the calm, the wise, the Bible seeking. And I'm wise because I seek the Bible. It's not anything I'm doing. I am an academic, so I read and I have goals. So those people in those different settings should be able to see this as Donna as a whole. Some people who've only seen the energetic side, so the people who've seen me what I'm like in the classroom, because part of my job is to entertain and to make it fun, so they would think I'm full-on extrovert. And the people in church or in a Bible study would think that I'm a full-on introvert. But what I'd want them to know is that I love people, and that I love reading, and that I love God, and that I love exercise. It doesn't mean that because in this particular season that I'm eating more than usual that I don't love exercise. It just means that I'm eating more because it's cold, or I'm eating less because I'm exercising. I'm eating the same amount, but I'm exercising more, so my weight hasn't really changed. Those things aren't symptoms of something, of a bigger problem. What it is seasonal. Okay, so what I'm saying is that when you're looking at somebody for healthy and unhealthy, if the different groups that you hang out with, including the people who live with you, if you were to ask them what is your character like, that should be consistent. If you should ask people what my nature is like, that should be consistent. If you could ask what makes her angry, for people who have known me for quite a while, they will know what would make me angry. And so then you will see the angry. You would know that I'm good with problem solving, but I know when I need to have a cry before I make a decision because my emotions are bottled. Okay, because in some situations you cannot just release your emotions. With some people you cannot just say, this is what I think you're being stupid. It's unloving. And the Bible is clear about being loving in how you speak your mind and in how you rebuke and things like this. So that doesn't mean that at certain levels of my development there was a little bit of anxiety and trauma. And for example, I did grow up with being told that don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. That was part of my upbringing. And that does affect the way that I'll just impulsively jump into situations. I am a cautious person. So I'll think through, is it wise to do this? No, it's not, okay. And then I can patiently wait. But I have to, in order for me to be really impatient, I have to, it takes a lot. I have a long fuse. On average, people would know that. But they do know, some people have seen me run out of fuse. And they've seen me having to practice self-control. It doesn't mean that I'm an impatient person. It means that that particular season is trying my patience. The people who've known me over a long period of time will know this. Will know that I do ask questions, but I don't do it publicly so that other people can see it. I usually would go up to the person or the lecturer or my boss and say, what is going on? Can you explain some things to me? I won't do it in a way that will draw attention. That is another thing, is that I'm not necessarily attention seeking. And so people in general will see that I like people, but I like people because I like to get to know them, and I want to know their story, and I want to know what I can help them with, and I can pray for them. But I do also know my own boundary. Like, I can't help these people in this area, so I'm not going to offer it. So if I don't have money to help people to eat for that month, I'm not going to offer. I'm going to say, I'm going to think, maybe I know these people are quite well off right now. Let me see if they can help these people. So I'll problem solve, but I won't put myself in a situation that could hurt my financial situation or my emotional or my mental damage, because